9 wealthy celebrities who died broke. 1. Omar Sharif. Sharif was the most famous Egyptian actor of all time. He won 3 Golden Globes and a César Award for Best Actor. But he was also an avid drinker and gambler. He moved to Paris to be closer to the racetrack. He lost almost $1 million in one night playing roulette. He sold his home to settle his debts.
"I'm all alone and completely broke,"
he said shortly before his death. Omar Sharif died of a heart attack in a hotel. 2. Whitney Houston. Houston was $4 million in debt when she died. Her addiction to painkillers was one reason. The other was her glamorous lifestyle. Houston spent her last $1 million on the finest hotels. 3. Michael Jackson. The king of pop died with an alleged debt of $500 million. For years he'd been an unchecked spender. Cars, art, exotic animals, jewelry, mansions. He bought everything. The upkeep of his Neverland ranch was a huge drain. After Jackson's death, all of it was sold off, but his songs are still making profits. 4. Judy Garland. Garland's early success and studio pressure ruined her. She was encouraged to smoke and take amphetamines. This was the studio's way of ensuring she stayed slim. As a result, the actress developed a drug habit. At 17, she was already a multimillionaire and a spender. At 40, $4 million in debt. She was evicted from her home. She died 7 years later from a drug overdose. 5. Barbara Hutton. Hutton was the original poor little rich girl. The socialite managed to squander over $100 million. That was her entire family fortune. It took Hutton less than 40 years to go from rich to poor. She died in an LA hotel with $3,000 to her name. 6. Mickey Rooney. Rooney's career spanned an amazing 88 years. In the late 1930s, he was the highest paid actor in Hollywood. But in 1962, the actor had to file for bankruptcy. He mismanaged his finances, and his 6 divorces didn't help. Rooney then entrusted his finances to his stepson. The stepson spent it all on his own lavish lifestyle. Rooney died in 2014, owing medical bills and back taxes. His estate was valued just $18,000 at the time. There wasn't enough left over for a public funeral. 7. Billie Holiday. In 1947, Lady Day was arrested for narcotics possession. She lost her performing license. As a result, Holiday was no longer allowed to perform in venues that sold alcohol. This dealt a blow to her earnings. In 1959, she was arrested for heroin possession on her deathbed. She was 44 when she succumbed to liver disease. Billie Holiday's bank account had 70 cents at the time of her death. 8. Nikola Tesla. Tesla was a celebrated inventor during his lifetime, but he was extremely bad with money management. Tesla made lots of dodgy investments. In the end, he sank all his money into the Wardenclyffe Tower. The experiment failed to deliver, so other investors pulled out. The great inventor died with a pile of unpaid bills to his name. 9. George Best. Best burst onto the soccer scene in the early 1960s. He quickly became Manchester United's top scorer. He's widely considered to be one of the greatest players of all time. But Best had his vices too, as his own joke illustrates.
In 1969, I gave up women and alcohol. It was the worst 20 minutes of my life.
Alcoholism ultimately killed his career. In 2005, Best checked himself into a clinic. They were shocked to discover he had no money to pay them with. The hospital agreed to treat Best for free out of respect, but it was too late, and he died of multiple organ failure at 59.